family gatherings, whatever it might be, Salem's Market is meat central. We're proving that theory right now. The place is incredible. It's on Penn Avenue in the Strip, 2923 Penn Avenue in the Strip. Website is salemsmarketgrill.com. Phenomenal chicken, beef, lamb, cheesesteaks, big enough to last you an entire half of football. I can vouch for that too. Hokie,
Look at Hokie.
did he already go back for more?
Oh, no, I went back for some white stuff from this.
Yeah, he went
He hasn't
back
moved
for
this
more.
fast in Super Bowl 40.
He talks about Casey Hampton having an appetite. Huh?
Let me tell you something. I'm still a lineman. Even though I'm a little lighter now, I'm still a lineman at heart. This is really good stuff right here, man. I love this. I love like just sloppy cheese fries. It's so
good.
Unhealthy, but so good.
So good. So good. All right, Hokie. Let's get into this week's opponent. The Steelers, I mean, any way you slice it here, got a massive break. There's no Russell Wilson. That changes their entire team. They don't know what it's like to play without him. He played 165, I think, games in a row.
Well, I think it was 140. Hit me since his week one of his rookie year, 2011. He's been a starter since then. Hasn't missed a game.
Durable.
Yeah, unbelievable. And this guy, he plays at an MVP type level year in and year out, and week in and week out. And so, what a break not to have Russell Wilson coming here this week. But I'll tell you what, Geno Smith looked good. When I watched that film, he looked good. He was driving the ball well. We'll see. You know, sometimes, guys, what I've noticed, like when I was playing, when I come off the bench, you don't have time to think. You don't have time to feel the pressure. You're just thrown right into the fire, and you play a little better than you may sometimes if you've had a whole week to think about it and to feel the pressure of that. The practice figures in, though, but there is a little something to say about the pressure that you feel that mounts, and especially at that quarterback position where everything hinges on your play. This game's going to hinge on how Geno Smith plays. Listen, he has all the skills to play. He has the size. He has the speed. He has the arm strength. Between the ears, can he go out and get the job done?
The running back is up for grabs, isn't it? Carson's been hurt, right?
He has been hurt.
He's a pretty good back, isn't he?
He's a really
load,
good. But listen, he's not an all-pro guy, but I'll tell you what, he's a tough runner. He's a good runner. He's averaging 4.3 yards a carry. Alex Collins is not a bad running back. I mean, he runs hot. He runs out there and he has a great cutback ability and running the ball. He sees the cutback lane. So I think whoever runs the ball, they're in good shape. He's averaging 4.4 yards a carry in this season. So the offensive line is big and physical. They're big and physical now. And so the Steelers defensive line is going to have to really be stout at the point of attack. If they let them knock them back, and push them back into those linebackers, it could be a long day for this defense in stopping the run.
It might be. I mean, they have DK Metcalf and their receivers and everybody else, too. But what about that defense?
DK Metcalf?
He's unbelievable.
Unbelievable. And I saw him get the ball. And you think of a guy that's his size and his strength, he could get the ball and shake and make you miss. I saw him catch the ball a couple times against the Rams, catch the ball over the middle, stop, shake, and accelerate and get past DBs that are half his size and that are quicker than him. He's an unbelievable player.
That Lockett is a good player too, right? He can beat you deep, can't
he? Yeah. I didn't see him have really a big game recently, especially with Geno. I'm looking at how Geno Smith and his go-to guy, Geno Smith, was DK Metcalf. That's where he wants to go with the football. But Tyler Lockett is equally – he's not a big, strong guy, but he is on the same level in terms of ability to get the job done.
Defensively, they must stink.
They're bad.
Chris, they're on pace to set the record for most yards allowed in a season.
Yeah. They're number
they're on pace to be the worst ever.
Have you ever known a defense to give 450 yards a game? And here's the thing. I look at this defense, and I watched this film a couple times. I watched the last game a lot. And Al Woods played with Al Woods. Good football player. Does a great job. He's a lot bigger than he was when he was here. Plays with great hands, great technique. But then you got the other two defensive tackles that just they're not playing very well, right? And they really get beat on the backside of a run because they're getting washed, they're getting knocked off the ball, and it's hard for Bobby Wagner really to play back and make plays.
He's really a good player, but he's getting towards the end of the line.
He's getting towards the end of the line. They got a young guy.
I've heard him say he's a Hall of Fame type player.
Yeah, he's a really good player. But he still leads the team in tackles right now, right? He still has 58 tackles. So man, he's still playing at a good level. Is he playing at the level he was playing 7-8 years ago when they had the Legion of Doom and that big-time defense? I don't think so. But he's still a guy that you need to make sure you know where he's at on every play.
All right, give us a winner, Hokie, and a score.
Already?
And a player
That's
of
where
the
we're at
game.
already.
We're going to elaborate on this a little bit.
Listen, with Geno Smith coming in here, without Russell Wilson, a different pressure. You're playing Sunday Night Football. You have all day to sit around and think about it.
Think about it.
The Steelers are on. I think their arrow's pointing up a little bit right now. I think the Steelers have an opportunity right here to take this win and go to even 500 going into the bye week, which would be huge for the Steelers where they were 2 weeks ago.
Their schedule, then, it works in their favor now. It gets a lot harder later. They win this game, it's such an important swing game. 3-3, break, week off to get healthy. Then you're at Cleveland. And then you have Chicago and Detroit.
Sure.
Back to at home.
At home. Oh, those are two big wins. And I think, because unless something drastically changes, I mean, the Lions, what heartbreaking losses over the last couple of weeks. I mean, that Dan Campbell looks like he just loves his team, loves what he's doing, and his heart breaks because they've lost in heartbreaking fashion the last couple of weeks. But the Chicago Bears, they have a young Justin Fields. I think there's a bright future for that Chicago Bears team, but not right now. The big one's going to be in Cleveland. Cleveland's going to have a lot of confidence.
What do you think of the Browns so far? Better, same, or worse than you thought they'd be?
I think they're right where I thought they would be. I think that they're a pretty good football team. 3-2. You could go 3-2 the next 5. The next rest of the season, right? 14 games or whatever. How much do they have left?
That'd be 9-6.
I mean, yeah.
And you'd have 2 left.
You have 2 left. I mean, that puts them right there where they want to be, right? If they're 10-7, they make the playoffs.
How about Lamar Jackson the other night? Did you see any of that?
Unbelievable.
And the performance he put on.
One of the most exciting quarterbacks of all time.
Joe, tell him what you said yesterday.
What did I say?
About Lamar Jackson, the one player in the game you would rather watch than
I think he's the
anybody
greatest.
else.
He's the must-watch player in the league right now, I think. When he's on, you're watching.
Outside of Mason Rudolph, right?
Yes.
Yeah. He's unbelievable. I mean, Lamar Jackson, he's so exciting. And when he comes out in the second half of this game last week, right, and the Colts got him. And then all of a sudden, this guy starts throwing the football the way he was throwing the football. I mean, almost near perfection in the second half. And then with his legs, right? I love what Coach Tomlin said, too, this week when they asked him about the uptick in the fourth down. Teams going for it on fourth down. He said, I think you got a lot of quarterbacks right now that are mobile. You got a Lamar Jackson who you can give to a running back, or you better watch him because he's going to find a way to get that first down. And I think that just kind of go to this talk about Lamar Jackson.
That's funny you mentioned it that way. Mike is not afraid to remind everybody that Ben can't move, isn't he?
I mean,
that's about like the 4th time. He goes, these quarterbacks, mobile quarterbacks, that's why you go for it on 4th down. That's not an element that we have here.
That's new.
It's true.
Ben wasn't like that earlier.
But he still can run a quarterback sneak, can he?
Obviously not, because they haven't called it in years. When was the last time they called a quarterback sneak?
The year after Haley left, I think. One
time.
That was
one
almost,
time.
That was almost a thumb his nose at Haley.
Make a point, right? But he hasn't run that. And listen, at this point in his career, he can't run the football, and so it's obvious, and that limits your offense a little bit. It makes it a little more difficult in the passing game when you can't manipulate the pocket like he used to when he was younger.
Who's going to win this division? Cleveland?
Listen, I think the Ravens are always tough, man. As long as it's a quarterback-driven league.
Did you see their defense though? Their defense does not look right.
Jim Harbaugh's a good football coach. And I think he's going to get this team right. He works those guys hard, man. Everything I hear about Baltimore, those guys grind in practice. They work. And they'll find it. Baltimore will always be there at the end. I think Baltimore takes this division.
Cincinnati's not a patsy anymore either, are they?
Oh, and
I'll tell you, how about Burrow and Chase? The chemistry they have, obviously going back to LSU. You know what Chase is going to do, and they still can't stop him.
What was the record that they set or tied like Randy Moss and Dante Culpepper?
I think Chase had at least like a 40-yard catch in his first 4 games.
They're unbelievable. And
his first 4 games of his career.
And the Bengals finally got a quarterback. Carson Palmer was there, but I think this is going to be a little different team. Joe Burrow is legit, and the guy is a winner in every way. If they can do a good job of surrounding him with a little more talent, I think this team can be something big.
I think they're a team on the rise, man.
Oh, there's no question. If you have a quarterback of his caliber, he's an all-pro type quarterback in the next couple of years.
Take him or Lamar from here. Right now, you're starting a franchise, him or Lamar.
Ooh. That's a tough one because they're both so good.
You want to throw in Baker? Throw in Baker.
I wouldn't take Baker.
Okay.
I wouldn't take Baker. This is a tough one. It depends on the personality of the coach, what kind of offense you want to run. Joe Burrow is going to throw the ball down the field more consistently than Lamar Jackson. But you have the electric ability of Lamar Jackson can just take over a game with his legs. He opens up your offense because you don't know if he's going to run or throw.
You didn't pick Hokie.
This weekend?
No, the quarterback you take from now to the future. He's pulling a pomp on me
Joe
here,
Burrow.
Ron. Joe Burrow?
Ron? I think you.
I'm just blown away by Burrow. So I think he's going to be great.
Yeah.
Just great. Do you think we should let Hokie go? Well, you and I have been able to
My
sneak
food's getting
bites.
cold.
We've been able to
we
sneak
should
bites.
let him go.
When you talk, I sneak a bite. When I talk, and he's poor thing.
That's why he
hasn't had a
gets
chance.
6 figures for this, Ron.
Yeah, 6 figures of pennies. But they get on this camera right here. Everybody can see that. Starkey hits. Every time I talk, he's hitting off on his mic. And
Right. I actually left during the interview here to go get the baklava before it. Did you try the
I didn't
baklava
try
yet?
the baklava.
Did you?
No. There's a guy that is a trainer. Comes and helps the Steelers. JP. JP who comes down the training
JP
room.
Roofing
He's
and
from
Siding?
from Fox Chapel. Yeah. He's a trainer at Fox Chapel, head trainer. He comes down, helps. I don't know if he still does. When I was there, and he's Greek, and he would bring down baklava at Christmas time. He'd make me a plate for myself.
What is baklava? What is it?
I don't know, but it's delicious.
Pastry with like brown
it's
sugar.
So good. And
it's a dessert.
Oh yeah, you should try it. It's right out there.
I don't know which one it is.
I'll
I can't
pick it
tell
out
what
for you.
half
I'll
of
bring
that
one
stuff.
to
Every
you.
Christmas, though, JP would bring it down to me during the season. For those 11 years I played. And,
I'm addicted to it.
My wife was so happy and grateful that I brought it home.
Goes well with coffee. Would you like a coffee, Hokie?
I don't drink coffee, but you can.
You ever drank coffee?
Never have.
Never taken a sip of coffee?
I don't drink it. No.
Ron, what do you make of that?
Energy. I don't need that.
That's against your religion, isn't it?
We don't.
Is it
we don't
caffeine?
Drink coffee.
I wish it was
caffeine,
against
just coffee. We don't drink
coffee in general. I wish it was against mine.
Hot drinks. Yeah.
I've had some horrible days because of caffeine.
Now Joe is on steroids for his back. And we've heard
Golf
about
injury.
steroid rage. I'm worried about what I'm going to feel.
I was wondering what's happening. Every time I come in here, you're getting bigger and bigger. Your shoulders and your traps, and your arms, and your gut's going down.
I might attack you at any minute now. That would be a bad move.
That's what I got to live with that. I'm worried about that.
We almost had a Joey Porter Mulsey confront. Well, we did have a confrontation. Did you hear about that at the Bettis Golf Tournament?
No.
It was unbelievable.
Is that where Jim had his hole-in-one?
Yes, Colony had a hole-in-one. Mulsey got confronted by Jerry Porter, and Ron and I just were innocent bystanders. Remember, Pac-Man called him Jerry Porter
when he ran on the field.
I thought you meant the Jerry Porter who played, I think, receiver for the
Raiders, right?
Yeah, Raiders.
Yeah, no.
No punches were thrown.
You can't talk to Colony
I
anymore.
I know he's
hole-in-one. You can't talk to him.
Above it all.
He's above it all
with a hybrid.
Yeah.
Who you taking if Mulsey and Mulzer and Porty throw down? Who would you pick, Mulsey or Porter?
Porter. No
still
question.
at his age?
No question. He's still in great shape.
It would only last.
I've seen Joey fight. I'm trying to think. I saw him fight in Cleveland. He got after
William Green. He got thrown up.
Bill Green.
I got some funny stories on
and
that.
You know who that was his debut.
Yeah.
James Harrison.
I don't know.
Were you on the field when Harrison
I was on the field
fan?
for all that.
The fan?
And slammed him?
Yes.
Yeah, I was there
Christmas
for all of that.
Eve.
It was awesome.
It was incredible.
Dude, James just doesn't care, man. James is going to go out there, and he was protecting us. That's
no
my story.
doubt. That guy didn't belong on the field.
He
does not belong on the field.
Yeah.
Harrison did nothing wrong.
Thus, you get body slammed.
Absolutely.
Enjoy your lunch, Hokie.
All right, guys.
I'm not finished yet, Hokie.
He's going to make him eat it cold.
Thank you, Hokie. We'll talk to you next week.
We'll look forward to talking to you next week, man.
Yeah. You too, buddy.
Fan Hotline presented by Nemacolin around every corner. Nemacolin creates real-life magic for guests. Fan weather. High of 80 today. Then you might see a thunderstorm late tonight. A couple more tomorrow with a high of 83 before it cools off for the weekend. Fan weather brought to you by Sun Chevrolet. Fresh inventory arriving daily. Get yours before they're gone. Penn State, Iowa, the game was over several days ago, but the stories are not, and there's a major conflict between the two coaches. We'll talk about that next.